I got recommended a Jordan Peterson video. So the entire premise of this 10-minute long video that Jordan Peterson's talking about is that what gives men's life meaning is responsibility.
Responsibility. That's what gives life meaning. It's like lift a load. Then you can tolerate yourself, right? Because look you're useless, easily hurt, easily killed. Why should you have any self-respect? That's the story of the fall. Pick something up and carry it. Make it heavy enough so that you can think, yeah, well, useless as I am, at least I could move that from there to there. Well, what's really cool about that is that when I talk to these crowds about this, the men's eyes light up.
He's not wrong per se. Responsibility is basically, it's men's lot. Men literally have to take responsibility. I know there's some people who, they want to see men be liberated in the same way women have been liberated. So women have no responsibility, they just do whatever they want, and the government picks up the check, and they're like, I want that for men. But that can't possibly work. Women are only liberated because men are paying the bills. Men are doing the things that allow women to be liberated. Men can't be liberated too. Who would pay the bills? Who would do all the things to keep society going? You can't have a society where everyone just does whatever the hell they want and nobody's responsible for anything. Just think about it for 5 seconds. So it's men's lot to be responsible. But what Jordan Peterson, and by extension all the traditionalists and trad cucks miss, is you can't have responsibility for something that you don't have authority over. And I've talked about this a couple times, but this video really cemented that the missing piece is authority. And there's even a section where Jordan Peterson's kind of straw-manning the argument, where a person's saying, what's in it for me? Why should I take responsibility? And his answer is, well, you could have that attitude, but then you're going to be miserable and nihilistic, and your life's going to be meaningless, and you're going to be useless. So take responsibility.
It's like, well, why lift a load if there's nothing in it for you? That's another thing that we're doing to men that's a very bad idea. And to boys. It's like, you're pathological and oppressive. It's like, fine then, why the hell am I going to play? If that's the situation, if I get no credit for bearing responsibility, you can bloody well be sure I'm not going to bear any. But then, your life is useless and meaningless, and you're full of self-contempt and nihilism, and that's not good. And so that's why that's what I think's going on at a deeper level with regards to men needing this direction. A man has to decide that he's going to do something. He has to decide that.
No, let me rephrase this. Are you going to give me authority over that which I am responsible for? If the answer is yes, then sure, I'll take responsibility if I have authority. But why in the hell would anyone take responsibility for something for which they have no authority? According to this 2006 survey from Inc., it says in this article, business owners work twice as much as employees survey finds. A new survey shows that 25% of entrepreneurs log more than 60 hours a week. And about the third paragraph reads, 33% of small business owners reported working more than 50 hours per week, while an additional 25% said they work more than 60 hours a week, according to a poll of readers of the New York Enterprise Report. The poll conducted through January and February found that 70% of respondents also worked at least one weekend on a regular basis. This is common sense. Small business owners, entrepreneurs work crazy hours. If you want men to take responsibility, it's really simple. They have to have authority. The reason why small business owners work 50, 60 plus hours a week, including weekends, including holidays, is because it's their business. They own the business. They have authority over the business. They are willing to take responsibility because they have authority. If you were hired to work a 9 to 5, you're supposed to work 40 hours a week, and the owner went up to you and told you, hey man, all this stuff's happening. I need you to work 70 hours this week, including the weekend, and I can't pay you a dime more. I need you to just work nearly twice as many hours for the same pay because we just really need your help. Would you do it? Maybe you would, maybe you wouldn't. Maybe you would once. under the promise that like there was going to be some reward down the pipe. But imagine there was no reward. Imagine you did it, and then your boss expected you to work 70 hours a week for the same pay as someone working 40 hours a week. And you got no additional authority, no prize, nothing. You were just expected to take this responsibility for no benefit. Do you think your life would be more meaningful? Would you find happiness and fulfillment? Would you beat back the dragon of nihilism by working 70 hours for the pay of someone working 40 hours? Or would you be pissed the fuck off and tell him to go fuck himself unless he's going to make you like a partner or something? Some kind of profit sharing. Like, if I'm going to work the hours of an entrepreneur, then I want the compensation and the authority of an entrepreneur. If I'm going to be doing half your job, then we're going to be partners. I own half the business. If you want me to be your employee and you want to maintain all the authority of the business, we agreed for 40 hours, so at 5 o'clock, I'm throwing the deuce. Unless you're going to give me more authority and reward me for my additional work, you can go fuck yourself. And unfortunately, the message of Jordan Peterson is taking on this responsibility without any authority, without any benefit, is what gives your life meaning. It's bullshit. It's absolute bullshit. What gives a man's life meaning is responsibility over that which he has authority over. When a man owns something, he will pour his heart and soul into it. When a man does not own something, he doesn't give a fuck, because it's not his problem. You know, at the beginning of this Jordan Peterson video, he's talking about this authorship program, and he was, hypothesizing about why men were so interested in this authorship program. I could tell you why, because authors are self-employed. If you write a book, you own that book. You own all the royalties of that book. It's yours. But the reason why the traditionalists and the people like Jordan Peterson don't want to talk about this, the reason why they must take out this authority puzzle piece out of the puzzle, is because if the answer is men must have authority, then authority over what? Well, what's the problem? Oh, no families. The problem is families, you say. Oh, men aren't taking responsibility for families. Well, if the answer is men don't have authority and ownership, what do you call it when men have ownership of families? What would heal the family? Well, men having ownership and authority, and thus taking responsibility. Well, what is it called when men have authority and ownership of a family? Oh, it's called patriarchy. Oh my goodness. But what about society? Let's go a step back. So the problem is society's falling apart because men aren't being responsible. Well, we've already established for men to be responsible, they must be given authority over that which they're responsible for. So if the problem is society, then the answer is to give men authority over society. What do you call it when men have authority over society? Oh, patriarchy! Oh my goodness! There we go again. It's always the same answer, isn't it? And that's why the traditionalists and the trad cucks don't want to talk about it. That's why they just take that little authority part and chuck it out the window, and they only want to talk about responsibility, and that's why their solutions don't lead anywhere. They're only giving you half the answer. Yes, men do have to take responsibility, but they also must be given authority over that which they are responsible for. To not do that, A, doesn't work, and B, is slavery. So if you're serious about fixing the family, society, whatever's broken, whatever you want men to take responsibility for, you got to give them authority over it. And then they will. They will absolutely take responsibility once they are given authority. So the ball's in your court. Are you serious about fixing these problems? I've given you the answer. Now it's your turn.